Hello YouTube, this is Zach, and today I'm going to be talking about Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls as performed on the recent Tiny Desk performance. And I just wanted to go through this song because this has been one of my all-time favorite songs. I loved it as a kid when it was really getting popular. I think it was the City of Angels soundtrack that it came out on. And this was kind of like my go-to karaoke song for a long time in my 20s. And my voice is a little lower now, so I can't sing it quite as well as I used to be able to, but we'll talk about that. If you've never seen my content before, I'm a professional voice teacher. I've been teaching for about 10 years, have a background in classical singing, and I do this all the time. I do this for a living. This is not a reaction video. I've actually already watched this and analyzed it. This is actually my second time recording it because of a technical error, so I'm pretty familiar with this at this point. This is a great song, great performance. Without further ado, let's get started.
Here we go.
Like and subscribe, by the way.
I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't want to go home right now.
Alright, so let's just rip the band-aid off. Let's get right to it. I'm going to say something that a lot of you fans are not going to like. The key is lower than the original key. Oh no, he's singing a lower key. Guess what? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. And I'm going to talk about why. First, before you jump down my throat, as I've had apologists about videos like this in the past, I'm going to prove it. Let's listen to the original.
And I'd give up forever to touch you.
And I'd give up forever to touch you. So that's your starting pitch here. Now let's go back and listen to what the starting pitch is on the video. And this is the starting pitch, remember? You're the closest to heaven. So it's actually about a half step down. You know what? It's okay. So let's talk about why. In sports, before I really go into this, I'm going to let you know I'm a huge NFL fan. I've been watching football basically my whole life. I played football as a kid. I love the sport. In football, it's very common to hear commentators and things say that players made a business decision. What does that mean? Well, in football, the context of that means like a wide receiver might run out of bounds before taking a hit, or a quarterback might slide when they run out of the pocket, or if they know they're about to get sacked, they'll cower and go straight down to the ground. Well, why do they do this? They do it to avoid getting hit. Well, why don't they want to get hit? I thought football is about getting hit. Well, just because you can get hit doesn't mean you want to get hit. And these guys are looking to preserve their careers. You know, they've built their lives around their athletically trained bodies that are able to do this sport thing. And if they're unable to do this sport thing, well, then they don't have their career anymore. And they have to go on a separate path and hope that they got a college degree. You know what I mean? Singers do the same thing. John Resnick is 59 here, pushing 60. By the time you hit that age, your voice has changed a lot from when it's younger. And I've done some analyses of like younger to older singers in the past, and it's pretty common that there's either some massive drop off or they've done some things that have managed their voices over the years to make it to where it works. There's really no shame in lowering a key by a half step if it makes it easier for you to perform. That's totally fine. In classical music, we do it all the time. Like, for example, there are like 10 Italian arias that I know off the top of my head that I don't even have to think about because I did them in college and I've taught them and stuff like that. But guess what? Every voice part sings it in a different key. Oh no, the sky is falling. There's nothing wrong at all with singing something in a lower key if it's better for your voice. As you get older, it's harder to maintain higher pitches. It's harder to sustain things in your upper range. The vocal folds become less flexible. The larynx hardens. The space changes. The muscles around the larynx start having more trouble maintaining certain positions. The head voice starts fading a bit. Things happen as you age, and you have to make adjustments. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with this being a half step down. Absolutely nothing. He's singing it well. What's the problem? I'm really tired of hearing that from people. Oh, well, he's not singing in the original key. What's wrong? He must not be a good singer anymore. Oh, she took it down a whole step. She's washed. It's the opposite of being washed. It's trying to preserve your voice. And, you know, what's wrong with that? Why do we hold singers to this ridiculous standard? It's unfair, and it makes it to where we have unrealistic expectations. And to be honest, I would much rather hear a guy taking this down a half step and being consistent and not using live pitch correction or auto-tune or some kind of effect on the voice or anything like that to make it sound artificial. This is a real performance of singing into a real untuned microphone. So what? It's down a half step. There's zero problem with it whatsoever. And I recommend you do the same thing as you get older. There's obviously the vocal hygiene habits like drinking water, staying healthy, not doing drugs, not getting too much into alcohol, that kind of, all these things that you can do to make your voice sustained over time. But when the natural decay of the voice and the body happens as you get older, there's nothing wrong with lowering the key.
All I can miss this moment. All I can breathe is your life. And sooner or later it's over. I just don't want to miss you tonight.
So on the same note, when I talk about making adjustments based upon your age and lowering the key, there are some counterbalances that you have to do. When you sing something lower, your body approaches the notes differently than when they're higher. And I've talked about this a little bit before, but I'll briefly go into it now. The lower you sing, the lower amount of vibratory cycles your vocal folds are engaging and sustaining and maintaining. So because of that, the voice has to manage it differently. So we tend to get caught up on like singers singing high notes. Oh, they did this really high note. That must be hard. And so what happens, and me being a bass baritone, I feel this personally, people singing low stuff kind of gets overlooked and no one goes, well, it's so hard that he sung that lower. Like nobody says that. But the reality is that it takes the entire inverse of singing high as it does low. For the amount that you have to work to sing high notes, you have to not work to sing low notes. You have to release the engagement to be able to sing lower. So if I just sing a scale, let me just pick some random, let's say a random major scale. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Let's take it lower. Da 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 da. And that's not low for me, but it's lower. So let's go down. Da 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 da. As that's getting lower, I'm not able to go da. I'm pushing, right? That doesn't work. Da 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 da. So I'm actually releasing my engagement on the voice because when I engage, da 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 da, it gets rough and gravelly. The sound doesn't come out. So there is a skill and a challenge to singing lower as well. And I'm bringing this up because when you listen to this last phrase, it almost sounds like it's a little bit light, a little bit undersung. That is the byproduct of singing lower. You have to take engagement off of the folds to be able to make a more productive sound, as ironic as that might seem at first glance. I mean, that's just kind of how it works when you sing that low. I mean, iconic chorus, right? Beautiful chorus. And it's just like singable. It's such a great melody. I mean, who doesn't love that? Come on. You can hear that he's working up on the high end, but again, that's a byproduct of his age. You know, the cartilages are a little stiffer than they used to be when he's younger, but he does fine. I mean, there's some technical things like the lip shaping that I think he might be able to adjust to make it a little easier on him, but he's managing and he's getting through it. And at his age, that's what's most important. It's a little bit hard for me sometimes to talk about this stuff because I think that fans get so caught up in defending their favorite singers that, you know, it's easy for people to think that I'm attacking someone when I say things like, yeah, I mean, he's having to truncate his sound. It's not quite as full, or his embouchures are too wide, or he's having to compensate for his age and stuff like that. It really isn't coming from a place of bashing him. I love this band, I love his voice, and I love this song. It's one of my favorites, and so I'm absolutely not bashing him. I'm an educator. I'm not a reactor. I have to be careful to not come across like I'm bashing. I'm really not. I love this song. So any critique that I give talking about the upper end of his sound and things like that, it's coming from a place of like, yeah, he's still managing this despite his age. Age does a number on your voice, and it's hard to maintain things as you get older, and he's done a good job of it. He's stayed relatively out of the limelight. There's no big drugs that he's done, no major scandals, nothing like he's hooked on substance like a lot of the people in the 90s and 2000s were. So he doesn't smoke that I know of. So he's done a good job of maintaining his voice, and it shows.
Tears that ain't coming, or the mound in a tree.
So, yeah, one thing that I get asked about a lot is the raspy sound. He kind of has a raspy sound in his singing, right? It doesn't sound like full on like death metal type stuff, but it's got this edge, this raspy edge. And I've very thoroughly talked about this topic throughout the duration of the life of my channel. But I've gotten enough pushback from people to where I decided, all right, look, I'm just going to give you guys some science, some actual real science on the matter. And the first thing before I do that is I want to talk about people who create a raspy sound and who naturally have a raspy sound. If you listen to John Resnick speaking, he has a little bit of a raspy sound in his speaking voice. Not airy and wispy, but it just has that kind of little edge on it when he talks. He has a naturally raspy voice, and he's had that for as long as you can look back into interviews and things. You know, you can hear it. He's always had it. There's some other singers that are notable like that. Ronnie James Dio, the girl from Battle Beast, I can't remember her name. Ella Fitzgerald, going way back. You know, there are singers that have always had this raspy tone. Well, the science says that this is basically a slight abnormality in the formation of the vocal fold structures. So let me pull up this study and you can see it for yourself. So this study in the NIH, National Library of Medicine, published on PubMed from Oya Otohinolaryngol, I think is how it's pronounced. I guess that's German, I'm not sure. By Eisholt, Rosanowski, and Hopp, titled Vocal Fold Vibration Irregularities Caused by Different Types of Laryngeal Asymmetry. That's basically fancy words for the voice makes strange sounds because of a imbalance in the physical makeup is what this study's about. And if you read it and you go into it, what you find is that a lot of times people who make these raspy sounds just by default, it's because maybe one of the folds is like lower than one of the others, or maybe one is thinner than the others, or maybe there's a little piece of like air, like a point where like air passes through where it wouldn't normally pass through in the folds. And so full vocal cord closure would prevent the raspy sound. But when people have naturally raspy voices, there's something abnormal going on in the voice, in the physical mechanism. And I think what happens is a lot of times people try really hard to force a raspy sound when their voices don't naturally do it. I've always cautioned against that, not because it's not a cool sound, it's not because I don't think people should make that sound, but it's because when you really get into the science, we have some understanding of how the raspy sound is naturally created, but we don't have a lot of great science talking about how to sustainably create that sound. There are some people, YouTubers and online voice teachers and people who call themselves specialists, who say they teach these methods, but there's almost no peer-reviewed science behind it. Like any of their methods, there's no proof that any of it's replicatable. There's no proof that their pedagogy is sustainable or healthy for the voice. People will say this all the time, but I implore you to pay attention and ask these people, hey, where do you get your research? Where does your pedagogy come from? What's the basis of these things that you're teaching? How can you physiologically compare this to my voice and show me how this isn't going to hurt me? You can say, oh, well, I made this sound, and it didn't hurt. Oh, okay, that didn't hurt. Sure, it didn't hurt. But can you show me something that proves to me that this sound is something that's sustainable in the mechanism? You talk about all these terms, these buzzwords like false folds and curbing and distortion and gutturals and all these things. Can you show me where this stuff has some science? And you also have to be careful because some of the more modern science institutions for the voice are, well, let's just say questionable at best, and at worst, some of their materials are outright fraudulent. I'm not trying to start a war here, and I'm not going to name anything by name, but all I'm going to tell you as me caring about my audience is caveat emptor, be very, very careful. Someone who knows their stuff is going to welcome the scrutiny and is going to welcome the question and is going to provide you answers that are based in physiology. Always think, is what I'm doing justified by the physiology of the voice? Is there something that can be proven that is good for me or healthy? And I think a lot of people want to make these kinds of sounds because they want to be unique, or they want their voice to stand out, or they want to emulate someone that they love or something like that. But you have to remember, you already are a unique voice. You don't have to emulate other people. As a matter of fact, if you try to emulate someone else, you are robbing yourself of the uniqueness of your voice. Everybody's vocal folds are different thicknesses or sizes, or vocal tracts are different lengths, or pharynxes are shaped a little bit differently. Yeah, they're generally the same, but everybody's slightly different. And those slight differences are what make your voices uniquely yours. And you can prove this. If you take 10 of your friends and put them on the other side of a door and ask them to all say hello to you, you should know who they all are just by listening to them without having to see them, because you know their voices. Your voice is already unique. You don't have to emulate something else to be a standout or to be special with the sound that you create. Just always keep that in mind. I don't want to start a war, but you've got the lizard tongue going on. I'm not comparing him to the infamous lizard tongue voice teacher, but if you know who that is. That's kind of unnecessary. Like that. Like that, you don't need to do that. When you make vowel sounds, and I'll use an E vowel because it's the easiest one for me to demonstrate for you to replicate on your own. When we make vowel sounds, our bodies have this configuration of the vocal tract that they make whenever we speak or whenever we make sounds or sing. We kind of naturally go to these configurations to make vowels. So if I say E, the letter E, well, you can feel the tongue raise in the back of the mouth. And so that's one of the primary indicators of an E sound. So he's singing everything, everything, On an vowel, it's kind of E-ish, like the front of the tongue is similar, but the back of the tongue is lowered. And you're certainly not stuck out like that. If you stick your tongue out, that's only going to get in the way. I mean, think about whatever language you speak. Try every vowel in your language. Is there a single vowel in your language that you stick your tongue out to utilize? No. If you do that, everything, it literally inhibits the sound of the vowel that you're trying to create. So sticking your tongue out is a no-no. I would not recommend sticking your tongue out when you sing. So he just sung everything again without sticking his tongue out, and he managed the vowel just fine. Do not get into the habit of sticking your tongue out, no matter what any borderline fraudulent lizard tongue voice teacher might tell you alternatively.
I just want you to know who I am.
I love this instrumental section. I think that's the end of all of the singing. Let's just jam out to this instrumental section, right? Love it. Real quick, one thing before we move on, I just want us all to take a moment and appreciate the goon with the spoon. That's Snoop Dogg. I always love this section of this song. Like, it's so good, and it's amazing how full they make this ensemble sound, even though it's just a few guitars and a piano. Even without the big orchestral hits from the studio recording, it's just so great, right? Great song, right? Yeah, and I don't think they sing the last chorus. I think that's it. I hope that I'm able to leave this in because of the algorithm. It doesn't make me cut stuff, so. Awesome. Yeah, so I hope that you got to watch that whole thing with me. If you didn't, then it's because the algorithm forced us to cut things out. But I hope you got to jam out to that with me. What an amazing song, right? It's just incredibly well written. And I hope that you learned a little bit. I didn't go super into like pure technique in this video because I had more generalized topics that I wanted to talk about in terms of the management of the voice and the aging of the voice and the rasp topic. I want to talk about that stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe. I need to get to 10K. For some reason, I'm just not getting any viewers hardly at all. I think there's a hype option. If you have the hype option, please hype this video because I know that boost it up a little bit, so help me out, please. I offer a free vocal assessment for all new incoming students on my Discord server. I have a Patreon where there's all sorts of goodies, and I do weekly vocal workshops in the Discord server where you get to work with me directly with some peers, and you get to have fun singing in front of some people and from an audience. By the way, I'm recording this. I think it's actually Thanksgiving Day now, so have a happy Thanksgiving to all of those of you who celebrate it. I hope you have a wonderful dinner and have a great time with your families and loved ones. Eat lots of turkey. I hope you all enjoy it. And I will see you all again soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.